All right. So, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And so, this is just going to be a little bit of channeling, a little bit of rambling of what these collective energies feel like with the eclipse happening tonight. And Melissa just brought up this wonderful nugget, which I haven't really caught up on yet, but that makes so much sense that the new moon is happening in Aries, but the eclipse is happening in Taurus. And so this idea of bridging and bridging from the element of fire into the element of earth. And this year, this theme of bridging, of becoming something different, of moving into a heightened state, of moving into a new, completely new way of being is expressed in so many of the Gene Keys, the Sabian symbols. So we had the new moon, the first new moon of Aries, with the mermaid, basically the woman rising out of the ocean as Seal is embracing her, which is really this idea of becoming or remembering who we truly are, our God essence, our magical abilities, mind over matter, all of these things that are very much now in the collective, but that are not really just yet so mainstream, but that will eventually overpower, and not overpower, but be seated in so much so that this awakening is happening at a bigger level. So we have that idea with the mermaid of water to land, right? She's rising out of the ocean, and then becoming human, right? So what was really interesting was that Ellington brought this beautiful video, and it was a Russian production of The Little Mermaid from the 70s. And it was so beautiful. And it kind of brought back this idea of mermaids being considered as these like fallen angels, right? Fallen angels, they were punished to be in the ocean, to be in the sea. And a little bit like when we see everything symbolically, then that could refer to this idea of being in the emotional drama, right? The louche, like a lot of people talk about louche when we talk about the energies that are being perpetrated onto humanity and onto the planet by the powers that are in charge, and quote unquote in charge. And so this idea of emotional drama, emotional being flooded with emotions. A lot of us, we don't know how to deal with emotions, right? We either reject them, we either repress them, or we're completely in the emotional drama, really depending on how our astrological charts look and how much water and how many different gene keys we have that have to do with this emotion that often is coming up from the collective, that is not our own emotions. So having I was talking about that yesterday, how some of these gene keys really are portals into our collective unconscious, and some of the emotions that are coming up for us day to day are not necessarily our own emotions. They are fragments that we pick up, energies that we pick up from the collective but because of a certain gene key, or in human design, it's called the gates, right? Because of these certain gene keys, we are here to transform that collective unconscious and allow these emotions, allow these thought forms to come through to the surface. And so again, this idea of like wet to dry, right? Like full of emotions, to being able to balance the emotions and be more earthly in a way, more human, like literally from fallen angel to human. That's the journey of the mermaid in that Sabian symbol, in the degree of 0 Aries. And then the new moon before, we had the 55th gene key. And the 55th gene key is a really important one. And I invite everyone to just check out the Gene Keys in general. I'm going to put the website underneath, genekeys.com, and to see how this 55th gene key is such a cornerstone of humanity's awakening. Again, an evolution that is happening from emotion to being able to be self-aware, being more incarnated, and at the same time incarnating our God self onto the planet, into this 3-dimensional vessel, right? So the mermaid symbolism is in that first new moon, which was the new moon of Pisces. In that first new moon was the symbol of the guppy transforming into the dragonfly, which is the similar process of letting go of water and moving from that watery emotional substance into the dragonfly that is able to fly. And Richard Rudd is saying that the last bouts of emotion are that which creates then the wings so that the dragonfly can fly. And he uses this example because the gene key has to do with victimhood, that we as humanity are often in the idea of blaming others, blaming ourselves, blaming a situation, and we're not taking responsibility for our own actions. And now we are at that brink of evolution where we're becoming so self-aware that we can realize that everything around us is just a mirror of what's going on the inside. And if I don't like it, then I have to see within myself, well, what is it that I have, even if it is not me, this vessel necessarily, this lifetime. It could be something from the distant past. And especially with the eclipse and the Pluto squaring the north nodes, that is already pretty much happening. It's just, zooming into it over 6 months and even longer, that we are in this like stronghold of energies where we are going to be forced to take responsibility for our own actions, for our perceptions, for our beliefs. And a lot of the spiritual community, I feel like, is doing that already. Like there has been a lot of work, and now I think this is going to hit the masses a little bit more. So anything we can do to be here, to share light, to help others, work with the gene keys, help them understand, help you understand your hologenetic profile, which is based on your astrology, which is based on your birth chart, and which holds so much beautiful information about how this evolution can occur for you specifically, and with this transit that is going to be quite impressive, I think. So just riffing off of what Melissa was sharing with this idea of the eclipse happening in Taurus and the new moon happening in Aries, and how this is creating a bridge. So it's again this idea of we're moving from fire into earth this time. So bridging the elements, becoming whole, and just maybe a quick meditation, because Melissa has her beautiful virtual circle of radiance tonight, and I'm going to put the link as well, and that's going to be a very in-depth astrological insight and healing meditation, and a lot. So right now, I think we can just, come into an upright position, shoulders back, chin slightly tucked in, eyes closed, and then just breathing in light into the center of the heart. Expand, breathing in light into the center of the legacy at the sacral chakra. Bringing the legacy into the heart, allowing yourself to expand. And breathing in light. Expand. Breathing in light. Expand. Breathing in light. Expand. And I'm just going to take that image of the bridge that is coming up right now as well. And it is really leading into a new era, into a new reality. And these last eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus have prepared us so much with all this karmic work, revisiting beliefs, experiences, emotional drama from lifetimes ago, from eons ago. And all of this has now been recycled. And with that connection to our God self, to our inner divinity, we can then fully embrace all of that which has happened and let it go. And remember always, like Bashar is saying, and this is one of the most important teachings about multidimensional reality, is that as we change, as we change ourselves, and sometimes that requires going through the darkness, going through obsolete things that are in the collective unconscious, that are maybe in our personal unconscious, if there even is such a thing, right? It's all connected. But then he's saying that as we shift our perception fully and we also embrace everything, hold nothing back, then we can shift the frequency of our entire being. And as we do that, we're shifting into another pre-existing reality that matches our vibration. So just feeling that there are these multiple realities with so many different experiences and shame and blame and disappointment and so many things that are sometimes dragging us down, and not seeing it is not making it go away. We need to, at one point or another, go through and embrace what's there, even if it's painful. But as we do that, like the guppy becoming the dragonfly, or like the woman rising out of the ocean and coming onto dry land, and yet again with the fiery sign of Aries being linked to the earth sign of Taurus in that eclipse. We're making that shift collectively right now, moving into this highest reality that is available. So most of the things that are still in the shadows, as eclipses always reveal what's hidden, right? So most of that which collectively lies still in the shadows will be unearthed, to be seen, and to then be really released and embraced. Eventually embraced. Eventually all is the light. There's no separation between dark and light. But right now we're still going through the illusion because we need a process. The consensus reality still requires a process going from A to B, even though some of us are already more in that experience of, I don't need a process anymore. It can be instant. And that's the realm of miracles. And we can fully embrace that. And that will be this shift collectively will lead us out of the old belief systems and into these new experiences of reality, the true reality, the Kirushin reality, the sanctified reality, the oneness of all. And it's a major eclipse. So just feeling ourselves right now connecting into our higher self, knowing that we are guided at every step, that if we are asking for guidance, we will receive it. through synchronicities, through numbers, and knowing that this process is a sacred process, leading ultimately to unconditional love for all. I'm just feeling the energy right now of divine grace. Feeling the light pouring through our entire being. Opening the heart to the light, to God, to all creation. And Melissa, if you want to take it from here, some light.
Sotilia katanamilia soya tika ansha solo to kola tikara ansha sa te e se ti aya ele ula katalama. Just tapping into your heart space and bringing forth that spark of the divine, that spark of your passion, what lights you up, and just focusing on that, focusing on that spark that lights the fire within you, that'll help you continue rising up and traversing over bridges, the fire that will continue to help purify the emotional body. Ushutule ti kandia masola ti kala. Ushutule tule tule. Untia masati eti ikulantianala eshetianala ele. Urania mala eshetiayana. Aya. Unshutu eti kala. Love you.
Thank you so much, my love. Thank you. So I just pulled a card from the Mermaid deck that Nancy gave me for my birthday. And it is gentleness. Be gentle towards yourself and others at this time. Being harsh or using brute strength won't benefit you. There's great strength in gentleness. And basically asking us to look into the heart of a person. And the card is asking, are you being gentle with yourself? It's easy to be critical and berate ourselves. Our internal dialogue isn't always gentle. So this is something to be mindful of. If you catch yourself being harsh, then forgive yourself and try a softer internal narrative. You'll be surprised at the effect this can have on your general well-being. Could also mean, and maybe this is for this group right now, someone around you is in need of gentleness. Many people use a tough love approach in life, but this isn't beneficial for everyone, especially those who are of a more sensitive disposition. Gentleness is key. Think of the wind blowing softly through the trees. It's powerful enough to move the leaves, demonstrating that there's strength in gentleness. And sometimes we feel the need to be tough to navigate certain situations in life. Yet with gentleness comes flexibility. And this means we bend, but don't break. This alone is worth pondering. So I love that card. And I think it's really also this like gentleness that is needed right now as we go into the heart of the eclipse. And again, this eclipse is going to be with us for such a long time, and the Pluto square. So we need to practice self-love, be gentle with ourselves, and as always, hydrate well, drink a lot of water with lemon, be in nature if you can, hug a tree, and just really having this approach of whatever is happening right now in the outside, whatever is happening with the banks, with whatever, everything is an opportunity to go inside, and from the inside, feel the peace. Feel that even if we need to sit in the fear for a moment, even if we need to sit in discomfort for a moment, if we do, if we embrace that moment of uncertainty, what's going to happen? We're coming out so much more powerful, and really just seeing this whole potential and already chaos in the outside as an opportunity to go within and transform what needs to be transformed within ourselves. We can't change the world from the outside, but we can change it from the inside. We really can. And I'm going to stop the recording here. Thank you so much. I see you soon.